This is Roger Struckoff with Syscon TV at Cloud Expo East in New York. The year is 2014, which is hard to believe. We're sitting here with Mike Stockwell from Peak 10. They've been at the show all week. They're expanding a little bit. Mike, welcome. Talk about why you're here and what you hope to accomplish and what you have accomplished and some of the conversations you've had.
Certainly. Well, I appreciate you taking this opportunity to spend some time with me. And we, at Peak 10, we're founded in 2000, based in Charlotte, North Carolina. We currently have 23 data centers in operation with 2 under construction. We just broke ground this morning in Tampa, Florida on a new facility. Very, very excited about that. We're at the show this week educating consumers and prospective clients around what Peak 10 offers, who Peak 10 is, as we continue to build a national brand with the Cloud Expo. It was a perfect segue for us to tell our story on who we are, the services that we offer, ease some of the anxiety that's out there today around security in the cloud and what does compliancy mean, and we're an industry leader in that area. So had some great conversations. We're up to 50, 60 opportunities of folks that want more information, want to further the conversations with us. So it's been a great week.
You mentioned data security. I heard someone say the other day, well, everybody outsourced their payroll to ADP years ago. They trusted them with some of the most sensitive information in their companies, but yet there still seems to be that reluctance or trepidation or a little anxiety. And how is it, that you address that and ease their anxiety?
Sure. Certainly, there's a technical way that you can do that, from making sure that one of our customers can't see another customer's data, providing the network security so that the data is secure, it's encrypted, and all those things. But a key differentiator with Peak 10 is that we have a compliance and audit team, that it's their roles and responsibilities to make sure that they understand what customers need to do to be compliant, and then we tailor our services around that, so that from a prospective client perspective, you can rest assured that we're the experts around the compliancies that they need to obtain and continue to conform to. So, and like I mentioned, we do that through some of our managed services, through network security, and just logically the way that we separate customers' data in the cloud. But you're right. It's and we are hosting things in sensitive data like patient records and social security numbers and financial information of consumers as well.
As you expand from your base in the Southeast, if you could describe a little bit what sort of customers you have, and to what degree are you anticipating that customer base to be similar, as opposed to maybe customers being a little different as you expand nationally?
Certainly. So our sweet spot has always been the small to medium enterprise, and that's where we continue to see the most growth, is around the small to medium enterprise. I anticipate that to continue as we push nationally and build our brand nationally. We are acquiring some Fortune customers that there may be 1 or 2 applications that they don't want to host in their production environment for whatever the reason. So they're subscribing to some of our infrastructure as a service or cloud services to host those applications in an outsourced model. Even though they have their own data centers and their own IT teams, they still look to a Peak 10 to offload. One, it's a quicker time to deploy. You'd be surprised the bureaucracy and organizations to get an application loaded and ordering servers and operating systems and waiting on the IT team, to whereas in a matter of minutes or hours we can have them online.
Yeah, there's the early days of cloud a few years ago. We talked a lot about capital expenditure versus operating expenditure, or the other way around. If you're outsourcing, if you're going to public cloud or private hosted. So there is that, but to what degree is cost and OpEx a factor compared to all of the other factors, including the agility and the flexibility?
certainly it's still a component in the decision-making, their criteria. But what we're seeing more and more of is that scalability. It's not necessarily an apples-to-apples comparison because from a CapEx model, it's traditionally what we're seeing is prospective clients will overbuy their infrastructure. They'll buy it much larger than they need based on speculation of the success of an app or something along those lines, where in the infrastructure as a service, they buy exactly what they need today, and that can scale up and down depending upon the success of the application or whatever web-facing or, again, application that they're running.
Not so much as someone from Peak 10, but it's just someone in the industry. When you're talking about infrastructure as a service, and there's been a lot of talk about that this week, what sort of expertise does a company need to have, technical expertise, to handle IaaS services? And what's your experience in managing those expectations and working with customers?
Well, certainly there's many options, and there's many new options that you can see on the floor here that have just showed up in just this year or recent times. And it's not necessarily that our cloud is better than their cloud and things along those lines. Some organizations have taken the approach of using best-in-breed technologies. At the end of the day, it's all about high availability, scalability, reliability, and security.
Yeah.
So, the answer to your question is not to be vague, but there's a lot of components that come into that decision making, and the majority of the time there's a lot of noise out there. So what we're finding is our prospective clients do a lot of research before they even come to the table to start talking about this. So more often than not, we're in alignment with our customers a little bit better from some of the things that we have out there from a marketing perspective and just information that they can download, but also we help re-engineer that vision. Being more of an expert in the space, we're able to shape that conversation, and at the end of the day, it's our role simply to give them the best information to make the best decision for their organization.
Trying to cut through it all. If you want to reach Peak 10, how should they go about doing that?
Peak10.com. There's a cloud configurator out there if you wanted to, build a sample cloud or look at some of our popular configurations. And then there's contact information. If you want more information, we'll have someone contact you.
Great. Peak10.com. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. For Syscon TV, this is Roger Struckoff.